Madam Speaker, yesterday, Empire Foods, one of Canada's largest grocers, stated that its suppliers were still passing along price increases above the rate of inflation. As costs go up for Canadian farmers and food processors, they have a choice to make: increase prices or go out of business. After 8 years, Canadians have a bad taste of what's in store. When you tax the farmer more and tax the trucker more, Canadians pay more. When will this Prime Minister pull his head out of the sand and acknowledge this carbon tax is the root of food inflation in Canada?
Yeah, bravo! The Honourable Parliamentary Secretary.
Quite the statement from the member opposite, who in the past has voted to not go ahead with tax cuts for the middle class, who's voted against the Canada Child Benefit. Just a few days ago, they voted against more homes being built, Madam Speaker. They voted against, in fact, shelter spaces for women and children who are trying to escape domestic violence. It is true, of course, that Canadians are going through a difficult time. We need to continue to be there for them with supports. The Canada Child Benefit I mentioned, the Canada Dental Benefit, daycare support services, all of that is there, and we'll continue that support, Madam Speaker.
The Honourable Member of Calgary Centre.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. We voted 134 times last week to throw this government out in confidence measures.
Yes.
Canadians are responding to food inflation in two ways: buying less nutritious food or lining up at food banks. Reliance on food banks is at record highs. Worst to come, this NDP Liberal coalition is committed to quadrupling the cost on carbon tax on Canadian farmers. That means that those who can afford it the least will be punished the most. It's obvious this Prime Minister is not worth the cost. There are two options here. Will the government exempt Canadian farmers from the carbon tax, or should Canada import more non-taxed foreign food?
Well done. Parliamentary Secretary, the Minister of Environment and Climate Change.
Thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I'd just like to point out that that stunt, that overnight filibuster that the member pointed out, cost taxpayers $2 million. So as he preaches about fiscal responsibility, it's a little bit tough to stomach. Madam Speaker, the food report that he references actually said explicitly, and let me quote, "It is misleading to suggest that carbon pricing policies are affecting food prices." Moreover, Mr. Speaker, Trevor Thome said last week, if we got rid of the carbon tax and rebate, then this would harm a much larger fraction of lower and middle income households than it would higher income households. Madam Speaker, the Conservatives are making it very clear who they're standing for. It's big oil and execs and the wealthiest Canadians.